What's your tax shelter strategy? Changes coming to your 401k and IRA for 2025. I've got 4 of them. That and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. We are in the season where the IRS is going to start announcing contribution amounts and contribution limits for next year, and we'll know a lot of those finer details coming up soon, so that you can plan appropriately for 2025. I would expect that the 401k contribution limit, the 401k and 403b contribution limit, which right now is $23,000 for individuals under age 50. Once you turn age 50, it's another $7,500. So combined, if you're 50 or older, $30,500. I would expect they're going to increase the contribution limit, that $23,000 up to $23,500. The IRS has not announced that yet, but I would expect that. And as soon as they do, we will of course do a video about it so that you are prepared and can plan ahead. I'm not expecting any IRA, Roth IRA contribution limits to be increased. So we'll see. But aside from that, we already do know a few things about some changes that are being made for 2025 that are going to impact you and how you use your IRA, how you use your 401k. Let's get into it. The first is the new catch-up contribution tier for your 401k and 403b if you're age 60, 61, 62, or 63. And I can't even say that without a smile on my face, because it is so ridiculous that they would come up with those ages and that's it. So I just mentioned it a moment ago. Once you turn age 50, you're eligible to do a catch-up contribution. This is the IRS expanding those tax shelter contribution limits so that in this final stage before you retire, you can throw even more money in to prepare. Well, that starts at age 50. At age 50, you can do an extra $7,500 into your 401k or 403b. But thanks to the Secure Act 2.0, starting in 2025, that same limit or that same tier exists. But when you turn age 60, there's a new catch-up contribution tier. At that point, that contribution goes to, from $7,500, it goes up to $10,000 or 150% of whatever the current catch-up contribution limit is. So that'd be $11,250. So when you turn age 60, there's a higher catch-up contribution limit, and those are those numbers. And you'd think, well then, at age 60 and beyond, just like the current threshold of age 50 and beyond, that's catch-up. No, that would be way too simple and way too logical. This higher catch-up contribution limit that starts next year is only for the years when you're turning age 60, age 61, 62, and age 63. The year you turn age 64, nope, you're back down to the normal catch-up contribution level. So that's a big change you need to be aware of for 2025. Second thing you need to know is the same thing, although slightly different, is happening for simple IRAs as well. I mentioned the first one impacts your 401k or 403b. 401k is the most common, most popular retirement plan for for-profit businesses. 403b is the most popular retirement plan for not-for-profit businesses, and they're very similar. They're not the same, but they're very similar. A lot of small businesses, though, maybe have a simple IRA. That's another type of employer-sponsored retirement plan, and it's designed to be more of a slimmed-down 401k. Not as many bells and whistles, not as high a contribution limit, but it's a good plan nonetheless. Thanks to a lot of changes coming out with 401ks, simple IRAs are becoming less and less popular, but they're still out there. Well, this new higher contribution or catch-up contribution tier applies to simple IRAs as well, just to a different magnitude. For simple IRAs, the current catch-up contribution is $3,500, and that again starts at age 50. But when you turn age 60, and again for 60, 61, 62, and 63, your catch-up contribution is either $5,000 for the simple IRA or 150% of the existing catch-up contribution, which, like I said, is $3,500. So be aware of that if you're on a simple IRA. But again, if you're turning age 60 next year or 61, 62, 63, there's a higher contribution limit, catch-up contribution limit available to you as well. Third change coming in, this is to your 401k, that starting next year, auto enrollment is effectively mandatory. Auto enrollment is a required feature within new 401k plans starting next year. And this is a good thing. This is a nudge. So for those of you that change employers or you start a new job and they've got a 401k, just assume that if you don't do anything, then you're automatically going to be enrolled into your 401k, and you would have to take action to opt out, to get out of it. But here's the thing, even though this is now, the government is trying to control and influence, and I appreciate this nudge, that's great. Here's the problem. Don't auto-enroll. Don't auto-enroll. You're too good for that. You go in and sign up yourself, because here's the thing. When you do that, you can select how much you want to contribute, whether you're going to contribute pre-tax or Roth, what your investment, what your investments are, your investment strategy. When you do auto-enrollment, you think, and your HR might even tell you, yeah, you don't need to do anything, you're fine. You haven't selected how much you're going to contribute. They're just going to automatically enroll you at probably 5%, maybe 6%. You haven't selected an investment choice. You get the qualified default investment alternative, QDIA. Probably a good investment, might not be the right one for you. And you're not selecting pre-tax or Roth. They're just going to throw it into pre-tax. You maybe should be doing Roth. So initial enrollment is going to be required starting next year for new plans. Don't do, auto enrollment is going to be required. Don't do auto enrollment. Sign up yourself, make those key decisions, work with your CFP. And then fourth, the last big change coming to IRAs, 401ks next year is the implementation of the new 10-year rule. I've done lots of videos on this, and we'll do more because it is confusing, and the IRS really took their time in explaining this to us. But if you inherit if you inherit a retirement account from someone that passes away after 1/1/2020, and that person isn't your spouse, or you don't fall under any other exception, there's 5 of them, then you have 10 years to withdraw that account and empty the account. If it's pre-tax, you've got 10 years to draw that money out, and as you do, you have to pay tax on it. If it's a Roth IRA that you inherit, you've got 10 years to draw it out, and as you do so, it's not taxable to you. But what the IRS has been delayed on kind of explaining to us is, well, if the person that you inherited the money from had already started their required minimum distributions, do you just have to empty the account within 10 years, or do you also need to make a required minimum distribution every single year as well? And they clarified, yes, you do need to make an annual required distribution every single year during those 10 years as well until the account is emptied. So it's sort of both. You need to continue to do an RMD, and you need to empty the account within 10 years. Those new rules take effect starting next year, 2025. All of this impacts your planning, your comprehensive financial planning, and it impacts multiple areas of your financial life. All 6 areas, your present financial position, yes, this impacts your cash flow. Protection planning, it could. What you pay for your Medicare often is connected to your income. Of course, this is tax planning. Yes, it's investment planning, your retirement planning, even estate planning as well, like I mentioned with that 10-year rule. So this touches all 6 areas of your financial life. This should help you plan. Work with your certified financial planner. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.